Afternoon, bro. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to start this one by asking you a question, all right? Have you, at any point in your life, ever thought about giving up on anything? On your dreams, anything like that? I guarantee the answer is yes, especially if it's something to do with your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, what you want to achieve out of life, and you're grinding hard every single day to try and get there. I guarantee you that at some point you will have said, yeah, nah, this ain't going to work, and quit, and thought about quitting. Clearly you haven't, because you're still here, you're still doing this, you're still, fighting on. But everyone that goes through a tough, path to a goal, an achievement, whatever it is, at some point along that journey, you'll have 100% thought about quitting, 100%. And that's completely natural, and I understand that because I've been there myself. There's been many times where I've just sat there and thought, yeah, this isn't going to work. It's not going to happen. And the thing that you have to understand is that as a young man, trying to make something happen, trying to really go against the grain and secure something really rare, and to build something from completely nothing, which is what you're doing. You're literally building something from scratch, and you're working hard every day. You're hustling. Your head is fucking banging. You're tired all the time. There's always going to be a point where you're just going to say, yeah, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Hang on, see if it's... That's better. So yeah, bro. But what you've got to understand is that imagine I was to achieve something. Imagine me and you have the same goal, right? Let's say I achieve it maybe in 2 weeks. And then you're still struggling to get there after a month. And you're thinking, whoa, why is this guy just achieved it in 2 months and I'm still struggling here? Why can I not do it? And you might question yourself. You might think, oh, maybe it's just not supposed to happen to me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't know the right things. You start thinking all these negative thoughts. You start feeding into that negativity. And then you just give up, basically. You give up because you don't believe it's possible anymore. Because you're comparing yourself to someone else. But what you have to realize is that every single person is completely unique in every way. So me and you are completely different, bro. So if I was to achieve something in 2 weeks, that does not mean that you are 100% supposed to achieve that in the same amount of time. Do you understand that? Because everyone learns things in quicker times. Everyone learns things at different rates. Everyone has a different base knowledge. Everyone is just different, and all those differences are a factor that contribute towards the success that you make and what you actually achieve. So you can't then sit there and then say, oh yeah, I'm not going to carry on doing this, I'm going to quit because that guy achieved it way too quick for me. So they're like, yeah, I didn't achieve it quick enough, he achieved it very quick, I must not be good enough, I must not be right for this just isn't supposed to happen to me. You then feed into that negative belief, and it's now a belief in your mind, and as soon as you believe something, that's when it comes true. Do you understand that? So if you believe it's not possible, you're not then going to achieve it. Because you fed into that negativity, you fed into that negative belief that you now are unable to achieve that. Because you compared yourself to another person, which is completely the wrong way to go about it. I understand that a lot of people say, yeah, you've got to compare yourself to other men. It's like a game, or it's like a war between men. And in some aspects, yes, I completely agree with that. But when it comes to you achieving your own personal goals, you can't focus on other people's success too much. You can't compare yourself to them and say, they can do it, but I can't. Just because if someone was to achieve a goal that you want to achieve in a short space of time, but you take years, that does not mean that you're not going to achieve it. That doesn't mean you're not capable of achieving it. Everyone has a different threshold that they have to meet that then propels them forward, and then they go on to succeed. Okay? So that leads me on to my next point, right? When it comes to success and when it comes to achieving something, there is a threshold that you have to meet, all right? You're working so hard, right? You're working, you're grinding. So you get to here. Then when you get to here, your success propels. Something happens here that causes you to seriously accelerate in your success. And then from this point, you either completely make it, you've succeeded, or bang, you hit that point and you're straight up. It could be, I'll say for example, like in a business, all right? Let's say you started a business and you're grinding, you're trying to get clients, but you've not got any here. Below this point, you don't get any, all right? But you climb and you keep climbing, you keep, you're uploading videos, you're doing all this stuff, you making courses, whatever it is, marketing, grinding. Then you hit that point, yeah, there, where Maybe you get a few sales. Now you can start posting your positive reviews on your social media. Then more clients see it. Bang. You've accelerated your progress and you've just become a very successful entrepreneur from that. Because now so many people know who you are and you've made so many sales that you just accelerate from there. And then the more you accelerate from there, the more your success is going to sort of pile on. Do you understand that? Whereas imagine this, right? If you were to give up before that, okay, you then feed into that negative belief and it never happens. But what if this, right? Your threshold is here. You grind, you grind, you grind, you grind. It gets a bit tough here. Just below that point to where you're about to succeed, it gets a bit tough and you struggle and you go, nah, I'm going to give up. And then bang, you completely give up, and that threshold, you almost met it to where you were going to completely accelerate. But no, you gave up because it got tough and you struggled. And you then compared yourself to someone else and you thought you weren't good enough and you fed into that negative belief just before you were about to succeed. Because you do not, and the thing about that threshold that's there, you do not know where it is. You don't know where you have to get to and what you have to do to actually get there. You just have to keep going and keep learning and keep doing the right things and keep failing and keep making mistakes. Do you understand that? Life is going to 100% get tough when you reach the top. I'm not even just saying that as a complete cliche. I know you hear Andrew Tate say it. I know you hear Hamza say it. I know you hear all these people say it where, oh yeah, it's tough to get, it's really hard to get to the top. You know, not everyone can do it. Everyone actually can do it, but the point should be reflipped. It should be not everyone is willing to do it. Not everyone's willing to go through the pain and the suffering and the mistakes and the embarrassment in order to achieve success. They don't want it. They just want an easy life where they go to school or university or go to work, whatever it is, and get told what to do, so they know then what to do, and then they go through their they just live in. They're just being strung along by life. They don't have to do any thinking. Whereas people trying to make something happen from scratch and go completely against the grain, where you've got to think about shit yourself and you've got to try new things and you've got to fail and you've got to make mistakes and you have to be embarrassed and you have to learn from those mistakes and failures to then make yourself better. And the more you make yourself better, you then use that knowledge to keep grinding and keep going forward. So you hit that point. And when you hit that point, bang, you go, you fly. But the first thing you have to accept is that life is going to be hard. If you do, it's not easy. I see so many people that come onto things like content creation or even go into the gym and they expect to go in there, lift a few weights or upload a few videos or whatever it is, and then that's it. They're done. They've got there. They think it's just going to be easy. They think it's going to be a completely smooth sailing path because maybe someone else got a little bit luckier. Maybe someone's got really good genetics and they go to the gym maybe 3 times and they've built a decent amount of muscle. But then the other person goes and does it and he's gone to the gym 3 times but he's experienced no muscle growth. That person is then going to be like, oh, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't do this, so I'm just going to quit. Because it's got tough and he compared himself to someone else. Okay? No, it is fucking difficult. It is tough. Okay? And I'm nowhere near, I'm not even at the top yet. I'm nowhere near at the top. Okay? But I've come so far from where I was. And I've experienced so many doubts and so many times where I felt, is this right for me? Am I going to do this? But it's at those points where you feel tired and you feel beat down and you feel like it's going really badly and you feel like you just can't do it anymore and it's getting really hard now. No matter how long you've been doing it for, it's getting tough and you just feel like quitting. But imagine you went on one extra day and you carrying on that one extra day was that threshold to where you meet your success. And then imagine you gave up just before that. But you'd never know, okay? You just don't know which point it is to what you need to get to how much you need to then work from this point. All right? You never know it. So do not quit now because you do not know how close you might be. No matter what it is that you're trying to achieve, all right? Could be a business, could be in the gym or whatever. Could be whatever it is. I don't care what. It could be the smallest little goal ever. Okay? You could be so close to it and you don't even know. And you might think, and if you think about quitting and you feed into that negative thought and you then quit, how are you then going to feel if you could have potentially made it and you didn't? Because you gave up because it got tough. You're a man. It's going to get tough. Enjoy it. Bro, enjoy the struggle. Learn to laugh through the struggle. It's amazing. It's what builds you into a man. It's like Life genuinely is like a video game, and I'm not even just saying that because so many other content creators say it. It genuinely is. It's like you have to enjoy that process of grinding and building yourself up and failing and making mistakes and it getting tough and it feeling like you want to quit. You have to get used to that feeling. Because, bro, honestly, it is an amazing feeling when you actually eventually do get to that point that you want to get to, when you level up significantly. In that video, in those video games that you were playing when you were younger, how good did it feel when you actually did make it to that next level? You hit that level where you got like an extra, like you got like a new fucking, I don't know, what you can get now in video games where you like get a new gun or something. I don't know. It's like that. You keep leveling up, and I'm you know, maybe it took you like a year to get to that level, but it was so worth it in the end, wasn't it? And you never gave up, and you got there. Treat life like that. Enjoy the struggle. Enjoy making a mistake. Enjoy feeling pain. Enjoy these things that are going to build you and mold you into the man that you want to be. Because remember, success doesn't actually happen without all of these little building blocks. It's like I said, I mentioned in a previous video, manifestation. You think of something in your mind, then physical reality takes over, all right? Those failures and those mistakes and those hardships and that struggle and that embarrassment is all a building block to that manifestation, to eventually where you are the man you want to be. That is you. That is your success. You've built it completely. You've built it and molded it through all these little parts and all these experiences in your life. People just get it wrong. They think that they think, oh yeah, I'm going to visualize this. It's going to happen. It's going to be smooth sailing. Everything's going to go well from now. No, you are going to you might fail for 10 years, bro. You might achieve nothing for 10 years, right? Absolutely nothing. But you've hustled and you've grinded and you've gone through all the pain necessary. And then maybe in that final year, that extra little push, bang, you reach it. But it took you so long. Whereas for another person, it might be like 10 months. It is all different, and everyone's journey is completely different. Everyone has to experience different amounts of pain, different hardships, different difficulties, different mistakes they have to make, learn different things. It's all different, bro. So I promise you, if that manifestation in your mind is what you believe, physical reality will take over, and it can't not happen, bro, if you don't give up. Because remember, you only ever fail if you give up. All right, bro? You're a man. Enjoy the struggles, enjoy the hardships. Sorry about someone outside. Probably can hear my little sister or something. But remember that, bro. I hope this is valuable. I'll see you in a bit.